The day Hana Park realized that excellence can't hide poverty for long, she was standing barefoot in a hospital supply closet, hiding from her classmates. "Your shoes are missing again?" someone laughed outside. Another voice answered, sharper. "She probably sold them." Laughter followed. Hana gripped the torn sneakers in her hand, pressing herself into the metal shelves, praying the shelves swallows her. Hana grew up above her parents' laundromat, where machines screamed all night and steam peeled paint from the ceiling. One evening, 12-year-old Hana sat on an overturned detergent crate, finishing homework while her parents counted coins from the register. Her mother sighed. "We're short again." Her father forced a smile. "Next month will be better." Hana looked up. "You always say that." They exchanged glances. Her mother sat beside her. "Being poor means believing in months that don't exist yet." Hana frowned. "Why don't we just get better jobs?" Silence stretched. Her father spoke carefully. "Some doors close before we even knock." "Because we're poor?" He hesitated. "Because we're different." Hana tilted her head. "We're Korean." Her mother gently brushed Hana's curls back. "We're Afro-Korean, sweetheart. Some people think that means we don't belong anywhere fully." Hana absorbed that quietly. "But I'll belong somewhere," she said firmly. Her parents smiled, but it was the kind of smile built from hope they didn't fully trust. Years later, after Hana received her medical school acceptance letter, the celebration was small. Instant noodles and store-brand soda, but the tuition statement lay on the table like a second, heavier letter. That night, Hana overheard her parents arguing in the laundromat after closing. "We can sell the business," her mother whispered. "And then what?" her father replied. "We barely survived opening it. She deserves better than this life." "So, do you?" The machines hummed between them. Hana stepped forward. "I don't need you to sell anything," she said quietly. Her mother's eyes filled. "You're going into rooms that were never built for girls like you." "I'll build new rooms," Hana said. Her father studied her carefully. "You'll have to be twice as strong, twice as patient, twice as invisible until they can't ignore you." "I know," she replied, but she didn't, not yet. Medical school felt less like opportunity and more like infiltration. Hana learned to stretch meals.
Pretend she isn't outgoing.
Forget her wallet during group orders, and someone noticed. Minho calm, brilliant.
Calm.
Born into generational medical power, their quiet, growing fondness felt like oxygen in a suffocating environment. One afternoon after pharmacology class, Hana packed her bag when a classmate slid into the seat beside her. Jiyeon. Top-ranked. Wealthy. Observant. "And here I thought Minho only dated legacy students," she said lightly. Hana stiffened. "He doesn't date anyone. He walks you home. Studies with you. Defends your presentations like they're his thesis. That's called friendship." Jiyeon smiled thinly. "You know people think you're using him." Hana kept packing. "I'm not." "Of course you aren't," Jiyeon said sweetly. "You're just conveniently brilliant and conveniently poor." Hana stood. "You don't know anything about me." "I know you don't belong in his world," Jiyeon replied softly. "And when people like Minho get bored, they don't fall. They step back into comfort." Hana swallowed. "Why tell me this?" Jiyeon shrugged. "Because watching you believe fairy tales is uncomfortable." When Hana later discovered Minho's indirect connection to her scholarship funding, the fracture between gratitude and pride became unbearable. "You influence the selection criteria," she told him. "I made it fair," he insisted. "Fair would have been letting me fight." "I watched you starve to keep your pride," he said, voice breaking. "I couldn't stand there. And now I don't know if I'm here because of my work or your power." Weeks later, Hana collapsed during surgical rotations. When she woke in the on-call room, fluorescent lights humming above her, Minho was beside her bed, gripping her hand like he was afraid she might disappear. "You don't have to keep doing this alone," he said quietly. "You're working yourself into the ground. Let me be there for you." Hana studied his face, the worry, the sincerity, the safety he offered, and the power imbalance she could never ignore. "If I accept that," she asked softly, "how do I know I'm still standing here because I earned it and not because you caught me when I fell?" Minho opened his mouth, but no answer came. The silence settled between them, heavy, final, and for the first time, loving him felt like losing something she couldn't name. They finished medical school walking parallel lives, respect, distance, unspoken history. They rarely talked, but neither ever forgot. 3 years later, Dr. Hana Park stepped through the laundromat doors she once dreamed of escaping, but everything smelled different. Fresh paint covered the walls. New energy-efficient machines hummed quietly instead of screaming. The cracked ceiling was replaced with bright panels. Her father stood behind the counter wearing glasses Hana bought him after his eyesight worsened. "You're early," he said, trying to sound casual. "I had a canceled clinic," she replied, hugging him tightly. Her mother emerged from the back room holding folded uniforms. "And guess what?" her mother said proudly. "We hired 2 workers from the neighborhood. We don't work night shifts anymore." Hana smiled, scanning the upgraded space. I told you we'd build new rooms, she said softly. Her mother squeezed her hand. You didn't just build rooms, she said. You built doors for other families like ours. Later that evening, they sat outside the shop eating takeout. Real restaurant food, not instant noodles. Her father looked at her carefully. Do you regret how hard it was? Hana thought about Minho, about love that helped her survive but couldn't survive itself. No, she said finally. Her mother wiped tears quietly. You gave us dignity, she whispered. Hana shook her head. You gave me the reason to fight for it. That night, Hana received a hospital partnership email offering to expand her community clinic network. The sender's name made her pause. Minho conged, no message, just support. Hana stared at the screen, smiling sadly but peacefully. She typed one reply. Thank you for believing in my work. She didn't mention love. Some love stories don't end in togetherness. Some end in growth. Hana escaped poverty. She honored her family. She found purpose. But she still wonders, can love be real if it changes the balance of power between two people? Tell me what you think. And if you love emotional stories about medical professionals, identity, and survival, and everything that happens behind the scrubs, subscribe to Behind the Scrubs Stories for more.